The nursing issue topic we chose to discuss is 12-hour shifts. My side of the argument is the cons of 12-hour shifts, how they may be negative to the actual nursing duties, the personal life of the nurse, and how administration may see the negative of a 12-hour shift. Now, some of you may work 12s and some of you may not. As you listen to this and my partner's presentation, think of how working a 12-hour shift or dealing with your colleagues that work 12s, how this has impacted your life, positive or negative. First, I want to give you some basic statistics of working 12-hour shifts. The oldest article I found, which researched 12s, was The Good and the Bad of 12-Hour Shifts, which was published in September of 1975. In most articles, which address the population of an average of over 50% of nurses are working 12-hour shifts. Some are by choice, and others are only offered a position as working a 12-hour shift. One phrase that showed up often in literature was that there are only 2 handoff reports in a workday, and management can only hope to have successful coverage for a unit utilizing 12-hour shifts. And a nurse is burned out to be suspected when working many hours. Many articles focus on how a nurse is prone to experience exhaustion and burnout with working long 12-hour shifts. The main highlight of working 12s is the option of working 3 days a week and having off 4 days. Many of us that work 12s find this to be a leisure, as we can have large chunks of days off in order to plan our life accordingly without having to burn time off. And yes, that is a positive of working 12-hour shifts. I found this image on Yahoo Images as searching for 12-hour shifts. I felt this defines a positive approach, even though we are discussing the negative of how we help our patients as we make many sacrifices and we only have contact for them for a 12-hour period, but we will put our needs ahead of ours. The highlights of the research and the articles I read here are the main negative impacts of the duties in daily nursing. A nurse working more than 8 hours may be at risk for making more errors, and there may be a decrease of quality in care in working excessive hours and working consecutive 12-hour shifts. A risk of injury to the nurse, such as a needle stick. A needle stick is shown to be one of the larger harms to the nurse, as well as body fatigue will give a higher risk and a chance of a musculoskeletal injury. And most importantly, we need to worry about the safety of the patient. A tired and worn out nurse may not make the best judgment. Now, how the nurse may view the negative impacts of working 12-hour shifts. Personally, I decided to break this up into 2 sections because we need work and personal life balance. First, the work cons. The 4-hour gap from the departure of the 8-hour nurse. A department that still has 8-hour workers, some of the work may need to be done by the 12-hour worker in that 4-hour gap. Some institutions may let 12-hour shifts be worked consecutively by choice or by selection of scheduling demand. This for sure has multiple negative impacts on any person to work 3 12s in a row. Mental burnout especially. By the 3rd day it may be hard to think straight. Also, the body is much more physically tired by day 3. Working more hours brings more turnover and less breaks. Now the negative impact on the personal life of working 12s. First off, 2 necessities to life are eat and sleep. Not only are the food choices not good while working 12s, the nurse misses the quality time of enjoying dinner or that one meal with her family or his family. Working 12s in days, I work 12s in days that I wait to eat my dinner until after work. I have dinner by 8 and then by the time I eat and shower and wind down, it's after 10 p.m., which is the next topic of less sleep in between shifts if having to get up the next morning and do another 12-hour shift. A downfall of 12s is that no week is ever the same, therefore no set routine to life. This may be very challenging and difficult when there are children to care for. Then there is a comic which I found which may give the child's perception of a mother working long hours, and some of us may look like this at the end of a day. Now, the administration may see the negative of 12-hour shifts. As discussed before, the burnout fatigue may put a nurse at risk for more on-the-job injuries. Unfortunately, there are days when nurses may have to call off. A call-off of a 12-hour shift may be hard to fill, and at times, more than one may call off in a day. Also, looking at the scheduling, there may be voids and needs in a schedule. Some that work 12 hours may want the extra shifts to follow a day off, but others may not want to pick up extra shifts. A nurse who is easily burned out may never want to pick up extra shifts. Please give us feedback in the discussion post and how you are affected by 12-hour shifts. Thank you for your time and good luck with everything in your studies. Thank you.